stalls. So should we start it tonight for you two to get together tomorrow?
I should check with my mom.
What is up, guys? It is the Sports Nerd Bradley Walker, and welcome to the Walker Report, part of NGSC Sportscast. Remember the website, it's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. We are also part of Mancini Media, the Game Winner Sports Network, Snowman Multimedia Sports, and the Sports Alliance of America Incorporated. Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome in. We're midway through the month of August. We are a few days away from the start of the NCAA football season. We're getting closer to the start of the NFL season. So the sports are coming back. If you're a football fan, they're on their way back. We have two great sponsors, guys. It's creatingzenspaces.com. It is the local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you, adding comfort to your life. And guys, remember, Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. We're also sponsored by fun-wags.com. Born from a near tragedy, Fun Wags mascot had a bad reaction from a store-brand treat. We make our treats with 3 ingredients you can pronounce. Head on over to fun-wags.com because at the end of the day, guys, our fur babies deserve the best. Head over to fun-wags.com to get those treats. All right, guys. I have Lou here. Lou, how you doing, bud?
All right. Just trying to see if I can get the game here at Sling.
Gotcha.
The exhibition game, that is. It's football, people.
Yes. Is Judge going to hit 60 again this year?
Yeah, I think just get 60, and I think that one of the other players is going to get 70 steals.
Ellie De La Cruz?
Yep. He should be. I mean, there's about 45, 44 games, assuming they have an off day tonight. I think he's going to hit 70 steals.
I got to see him play, Lou, when they came down here to play the Rays. The first 2 games, the Rays kept him off the base path. But in game 3, he stole like 3 bases in game 3. It's so cool to watch him.
Don't get him in a slump for long. I mean, he'll have off nights here and there, but don't expect it to last too long. I think by let's see, we're in August. We're August 22nd right now. I'm gonna say at the pace he's going, I'm gonna say by September. Let's say about 3 weeks from now.
Okay. He'll be at 70.
Yes. Now, as to when will the White Sox say 100 losses, I think that'll be by about Monday. Sorry. Come on. I mean, it's a comic tragedy right where it is anyway, so you might as well just, get used to it.
Well, the funny thing is they fired their manager, and then the next day they go out and win a game. That's interesting.
No, actually, they won. Then they fired the manager.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Correct. They won. Then they fired.
Which I think is an insult.
Correct. I agree.
Why would you wait? Why would you win a game and then fire him? Why didn't you do it before?
Correct. That's correct. Why?
That's an insult to injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. How stupid can you be? Well, the good news is you won. The bad news is we're kicking your ass out of here. Oh, now you decided to do it? Why didn't you do it before?
Yeah.
Jackass.
Why not do it halfway through the season when you know you weren't gonna?
Why not?
You know
you're not going to get anywhere this season. You're in the toilet. You're not going to get better. You might break the record for the worst team in modern MLB history, not counting the before 1900. So why would you do it when you want? Well, we just wanted to go out and make you feel good, and they say, "Sorry, you're out of here." Thanks a lot. Victory is so short-lived. Well, Gordon, to put it another way, because you suck, da da. You get
Well, and then they'll always be like the little they'll always be the little brother anyway of Chicago. So no matter what they do, they'll always be in the shadow of the club. So
yeah.
I
mean, but it wasn't long ago that they actually won a World Series. So how do you go from winning a World Series, well, I shouldn't say something about it was, after when the Red Sox won in 2004, excuse me. And then, you win a World Series, and then all of a sudden you're the real life Bad News Bears.
Ownership doesn't want to put money into the team and hold on to the players that got you there.
Well, that's their problem.
Oh, absolutely.
And like I've always said, look, more money is not going to make your team better, okay? If you're not producing the home runs, if you're not striking guys out, I don't care what your name is, I don't care what team you are. If you're not doing it right, you're not going to win. It doesn't matter who you trade, who you get. If you're not producing, you're not going to get winning results. It doesn't matter about money.
Well, it's not. You don't have to have the greatest 9. You just got to have the right 9. That's what you have to have. You have to have the right 9 guys on a consistent basis. Go out there and play and hit, play defense, and strike people out. If you have the correct 9 guys, you're fine. It doesn't have to be the best 9. Just right now.
No. And like I said, just because you pay a guy $100 million does not mean he's going to hit 60 home runs or pitch a no-hitter every game or like a one-hitter. You got to look at it that way too. More money does not necessarily make your team better.
I agree. No, I agree with that. that. Well, I mean, that's the thing with like you said, you can pay a guy $100 million. I mean, he's going to hit 60 home runs because he can go into a slump. He can have a bad season, or a pitcher can have a bad couple of weeks and they don't win games. So, yeah, it just all depends on,
Well, remember, if it walks like a turd, looks like a turd, and plays like a turd, it's probably a turd. So there you are. As opposed to
the White Sox have a lot of that right now. So
yeah, and then some. Yeah, the Chicago turds
have a lot of those.
Yeah,
it's got to be the most frustrating thing in the world.
More's the pity, though. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, you gotta feel bad for them, but at the same time, though, I mean, it's just like a joke. A team to be that bad. I mean, you only won 30 games recently, for almost September, and you've only won 30 games.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen high school and college teams do better than that.
Well, it comes down to how ownership is. All right, so they're currently 31-97. So they're 3 games away from being at 100 losses.
And by the time this next show airs, it'll happen.
Yeah. So, okay. Are they off tonight? They're off tonight.
Well, they've been off.
They're not playing baseball tonight.
Oh, you mean literally. I'm sorry.
They have, where are they at here? Let's see. They're at home tomorrow against the Tigers. So is it a 3-game?
That would make sense.
Looks like it's a 3-game series against the Tigers.
Yeah.
Yes. No, 4 games. I'm sorry. They have a 4-game series against the Tigers, 3 against the Rangers, 3 against the Mets, all at home. So they relatively could have 100 losses at home sometime.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the time we get back around next week.
Well, that could happen this weekend because if they lose all 3 of the Tigers, then they're at 100 losses. So
Yeah.
I can
That
just
could
imagine
happen this
how many fans have bags over their heads when they go to the game. Excuse me.
I met
I'm a
two of
Chicago
them.
White Sox fan. I'm wearing a bag on my head. Excuse me.
I met two White Sox fans at the first Rays game I covered this year. They were playing Boston, and they go, "You can go to the ballpark for like $5. You get a ticket for $5 to go see a White Sox game, and you can buy a seat up in the third level and go sit in the first level because there's no one there.
No one cares.
Yeah,
Oh,
They have 39 games left.
I feel bad for him.
39 games left. Okay, so
Oh,
how
dear.
many do you see them winning?
It depends on their schedule.
Okay, let's see. We can go through it real quick. Hang on a minute. They have 3 against the Tigers starting tomorrow.
Mhm.
You see them winning one of those or losing all 3?
Losing all 3. Detroit's not that bad.
I'm sorry, they're 4. There's 4 games. So you see the Tigers take 3 out of 4?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
The next series, guys, is they have 3 against Texas. I don't see them winning any of those games.
Lose all 3.
Lose all 3, okay. So that would put them – that's 4 losses. That's 101 right there. Then they have the Mets for 3 at home.
They'll lose all 3 of them, too.
Okay. So that puts them at 104 in the loss column. They're on the road against Baltimore for 3. I don't think they'll win one of those.
Losers.
So that's 107. Then they are on the road against Boston
Losers.
the weekend of Labor Day. So the first week of NFL season, they have Thursday off, and then they have 3 against the Red Sox. They'll probably steal one of those 2, knowing the Red Sox.
Mm.
Then they're home against Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll
Those
win
are
either.
all 3 of those games.
Okay.
They're home against the Oakland A's.
That might get a win.
They might win 3 or they could split that series.
Okay.
Yes.
They're on the road against the Angels in Anaheim.
I could see them splitting that series too.
Okay. They have a 3-game series against the Padres on the road.
I'll call 3 of those.
Then their final home series is against the Angels for 3.
No.
I don't know. They could win all 3 of those games. It really depends on what. It'll depend on what Anaheim is looking at. The last weekend of the season, or the last week of the season, is hard to predict because some teams are in desperation mode where they're trying to win a game or 2 to make the playoffs, and some teams are in desperation mode to see if they can play better next year. So,
Right.
Then
but I don't think.
final 3 games are on the road against the Tigers in Detroit. Are the final 3 games. For the White Sox.
Now I see them. They're probably. My God, they're gonna be like. Is that 2-37 in September?
So 2-37 would put them at 144 losses.
Hot damn.
And that means they only would have, what is it?
33 wins.
33 wins.
33 wins out of 162 games. That would set the all-time low.
Indeed, it would.
Yes.
By far and away. Because I don't see them having a lot of playoff contention teams that are going to be resting that are up by 5 or 10 games in the division, so they're not really jockeying for position. They don't have any of them. They're not playing the Yankees. They don't play the Twins. They play the Guardians once, and they play them early in September, and you got to imagine that the Guardians are going to want to go out there and crush the Sox because they're going to be in a playoff battle with the Twins.
Right.
Yeah, they don't have too many playoff. The only team that's on the schedule that needs to win games is the Red Sox to get close to the final wild card spot. But outside of that, they're not playing anyone that's in either
In playoff contention.
or in contention to be in the playoff spot. Actually,
So I see.
Go, buddy.
I was just going to say, I see them getting shelled for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if, because I know U-Tree will do a video on them if that's the case.
Urinary tree?
Yeah. Yep.
Good old urinary tree.
You know, I have a lot of sympathy for the players on bad teams.
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, yeah, we know they're getting paid, but it does suck to go out there and go, we could go 2-37 in the month of September. You know what I mean? Like, that's hard. That would be a hard pill to swallow as a player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're so far back that even if they go out and they play, and even if they go out and win, even if they went 39-0, that only gets them to.
Well, wait a minute. How could they go 39-0 in September? They don't have 39 games in September.
They have 39 games left.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, mathematically, sure, but realistically, no.
What I'm saying is, even if they were to go 39-0, they'd still end up 27 and 70 and 97. So it's like there's really no incentive to go out there and try hard. You're so far back that even if you had the greatest September of all time, you were still god awful from April to August. Then it doesn't matter how hard you play. Oh, hey, Alec.
What's up, bro?
Not much, brother.
We're in the case of a little too late.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, never little too late when you got a right heart and a right mind. So, what's the topic?
Chicago White Sox.
White Sox stuck.
Worst team in baseball for 40 years. Not only a terrible team, no young prospects, and we just saw this, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. They just traded out Popish. They traded out their best young hitter. How are you going to rebuild if you are rebuilding? You're trading out your best young players. They have all old players. What is this, a movie? No. C-list movie. Not B-list. Fail.
Well, I understand trading away. Like, they're not close. They're 5 to 10 years away from being close. So in logistically and tactically, I think you trade away what assets you have now to build assets in the near future. Because in all reality, having one guy that rakes, even if you have one guy that hits 300,
that's fine.
It's not enough to build a team around, right?
Well, I don't build 20. I don't move 24, 25, 26-year-olds to rebuild. That's a rebuilding age.
I still think you got to.
You're going to be the Marlins?
I think you got to get 24, 25, 26. That's the end of their early production years.
Wouldn't you build a team around them? A good 24, 26-year-old? Wouldn't you build around them?
But if you only have
move Tommy Pham. Move Tommy Pham. Move those guys.
But I get what you're saying, but my argument would be that if you don't have anybody else young, and he's the only value you have,
Clear
and he's the only, you gotta let him go. You might be in love with the kid, and I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, you've got to make the best decisions that you can make with the prospects you have.
Yes.
And if you're 3 to 5 years away from bringing up talent, you may not be able to. You may not be able to make. You may not be able to make a return on investment by keeping him. Even if he does produce at a high level, all it takes is one bad weekend, and now he doesn't have that highest value as he did now. If you wait 3 to 5 years, if you wait 3 years, and you're still pathetic at the trade deadline,
Adam, I've been in basements of my mom's place. Well, yeah, we all have. But 3M building teams off 2K, all that shit. MLB. I've played more games than Bill Gates. Why would you trade a guy that's 24 or 26? Obviously, you unload the guys who are 30, 31. Tell me where it makes sense to move those. Because I see Florida and I see the White Sox doing that. And they'll be terrible for as long as I'm not in the grave. And I know the answer. If they took my advice, they'd be better before I took a grave. I mean, is it money? You got a talented 24-year-old arm. You're moving them? You're not rebuilding. If you're rebuilding, you build around a 24-year-old arm. Who are they rebuilding? To me, it's pathetic.
Well, you have to look at the totality of the picture, though. On your video, and I love video games. Don't get me wrong, I love video games. I'm a big video game player.
Yeah.
But you can literally rig the game so that you never lose, and I do, because I don't like to lose on video games. So I rig the game so I never lose. But when you're looking at a 24-year-old, 25, 26-year-old arm, you're looking at 3 to 5 good years left, right? Let's say he has 5 good years. He's 29 right now. And let's say you're looking at long-term health of the franchise. You're looking at 5 to 10 years before you can be even competitive in your your division, let alone your conference. Or I guess in the case of MLB, it would be your league.
Yeah.
If you hold on to a guy who's 24 until he's 29, how
he's building the franchise?
But rebuilding the franchise takes in reality, rebuilding the franchise takes a whole lot more than one good arm. You need three.
You're gonna wake up in 5 years and have a guy as good as him. If you have a great guy, keep him. Let him rebuild the franchise. Let him lead the way. I mean, what?
But if he's the only value you have, listen. If he's the only value you have, you move him now because you like what you can, because it's ROI, it's return on investment.
For a couple
yes, for a couple of prospects.
And where's that leading, Adam?
It's leading to the future. Look, it's long-term it's a long-term investment strategy. You're going to take what value you have available to you, and you're going to leverage it against the future with the idea that in 3 or 5 years you weren't going to be that markedly better with keeping him in the organization. So while you have a trade partner available, you trade away what you have available on in the hopes that the value you get back is going to exceed what he might be. Because
going to. No, I love what you're saying. It's a Swiss cheese argument. I can punch holes in it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, punch holes.
No, like Adam, I love you, but like, imagine.
No, I want to learn.
If you're dealing if you're a Chicago White Sox fan and you're dealing Michael Kopech, that guy's a former #1 pick. Let's get this shit straight. He was not, some random guy. Hey, I hope everyone ever who gets drafted goes to the big leagues. This guy's a big time prospect. Everyone knew that he was on the block. They give him the Dodgers. Are you kidding me? It's like the Lakers getting richer. No, hold on to that guy. I just feel like some of the mid-market teams get held hostage. I don't think that's a good move for them. Yeah. If I'm wrong, that'll be the 90th percentile time I'm wrong. I don't feel it's a good move.
I feel like I understand what you're saying, but from an organizational standpoint, 1 win in 5 for the next 3 to 5 years. If he goes out 30 times and he has 20 wins, but the rest of the rotation has 20 wins combined.
Yeah, shit.
And you get down to this road, and we're in 2028. And yes, he's cooking, but then he blows out his arm. Now he's worth nothing.
Yeah,
so if you're going to rebuild, you blow it up now. You blow it all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
You get rid of everybody that's got any value. You get as many prospects and draft picks as you can. You're going to, because you're in
They didn't get rid of their Willie Mays, their Aaron Judge. They didn't get rid of. Obviously, he's not as good as them. They didn't get rid of Luis Robert, their best player, their center fielder. He's still sitting there hitting the second. He'll get injured walking out of the shower tomorrow. How is he still collecting your check? If you want to rebuild, clean the house. I mean, that's why they're the White Sox.
Well,
you don't rebuild it, right?
But you also have to be able to make a deal. And if nobody's interested in it, if that's what people are wanting, if that's the asset that you have that people want, and you're got to be willing to make the deal, even if it's not the best deal right now. If you get 3 prospects and one of them works out,
then you hit. You got it. You hit it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
one to hit. It takes one to hit.
It's the hard thing about this is why GMs get so much shit that I don't understand. You can't, if some nuts were candy, if some butts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. What if we did this? What if we did that?
I'd be on a boat away from America by this point. No, it's all very imperfect science. I thought they can get more from that, but who am I? I also, speaking of the Orioles, they give up Jimenez. That guy never suited up. Total fucking, sorry, pardon my language. Complete underperformer. Now he's hitting 5th for the Orioles. I'm like, are you kidding me? That guy was the biggest bust in Orioles history in the last 20 years. I'm sorry. I follow baseball way too well. I mean, are you kidding me? He's hitting 5th on the Orioles. Granted, he's striking out a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's modern baseball for you.
Yeah. No loyalty.
No, well, an out is an out is an out.
The Yankees would never take Jimenez on their team. The Orioles are now batting him 5th. Have faith. Have faith. Have faith. Have confidence in your young team. Don't sign a guy randomly. Don't sign a guy randomly and bat him 5th. That sends the wrong message to the Orioles. If I'm cruising to the playoffs, I don't sign Jimenez. That guy's got the worst track record. The Orioles hate him. Now he's batting 5th there. I don't know.
They've got too many good players on that roster that'll cover up for his miscues. When you have Gunnar Henderson and you have who's the kid behind the dish? Rutschman. When you have guys like that, and you have Mountcastle, another guy that rakes, you can have a couple bad apples in your 9 because you have guys that are going to carry you. And some lineups have multiple guys that can do that. The Yankees have Soto and Judge. So it just depends on your roster, where I think, in all honesty, and I cover them, I think the Rays don't have anybody. I don't think they have a power bat in that lineup. They got rid of all their power bats. They got rid of Isaac Paredes, who was the guy that was hitting home runs, and they got rid of Randy Arozarena. So they're not blowing it up, but they are
rebuilding.
They're preparing for next season. On the fly.
I would say, now, that's why I'd say I said I hate the term, the phrase rebuilding. Yeah. They're getting better on the fly. Next year, they're going to be better. That's not a rebuild. A rebuild is like 3 years, 5 years. Yes. The Rays will be really good next year.
Well, I think the Rays will be better next year because of one reason. They're going to get their starting pitching back. They may have one of the better rotations in all of baseball if they can all stay healthy. You're going to get McClanahan back. They've already got Shane Baz back. They've already got what's his name?
Drew Rasmussen, Jeffrey Springs.
Jeffrey Springs is another one. And who's the other one that just came back off of the IL? Yes, Rasmussen. So
I know the Rays like the back of my hand, bro.
You've got all those guys coming back, and again, if they can stay healthy, they're going to have one of the best, if not the best, rotation in all of baseball. But then again, that's okay. That's great. But you have to score runs, so they're going to have to go out and spend that money that they just got rid of with Paredes, Arozarena, guys like that. Me personally, if I was Eric Neander, who I got to be within 10 or 15 feet of the press box.
You had a great interview there. Yeah.
What I would have done, I would have kept Paredes. I would have gotten rid of Brandon Lau. And the reason that I know, and Lau's been hitting better as of late, but he's not consistent. He's not, I mean, that's the issue with the Rays so far this year. What I've seen, and I've been at 20 some odd games or something like that. And there's no one in that lineup hitting above 250. And that's not going to cut it. Period. It's not going to cut it.
Let's be real.
They've had what? They had 2 hits or 4 hits total in the when they lost today to the A's today in the day game.
Yeah.
But they had 4 hits total in the first 2 games. And the hero is Jose Siri, who was in the doghouse for not running to first base.
Yeah, hitting 199. I've seen that guy hit bombs.
You have Alex Jackson. Well, you have Alex Jackson hitting under 150. He's hitting 170. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, Alex. The Rays have never developed a catcher, ever. They've never developed a catcher in their. They've always gone out and got one. Toby Hall.
You know what I mean?
Well, down the list of them. They've never grown.
I'll wear a Rays jersey any day of the week. I love the Rays. My mom was out there. No, you know me. I'm hardcore. Yeah, right. And I'm sleeping with the enemy. Yeah, Lou. What's up, Lou? I'm a Mets fan. He hates that.
Okay.
I mean, okay. Yeah, but no. Hey, Hey, one thing, call me loyal, but like I love the Rays because they're low market. Low,
We worship
low-
your Red Sox fan.
I don't know how they traded Arona.
Right.
Randy,
Had,
yeah.
a, cou-
Well,
had a couple
Rosarina?
lemonade.
I've heard
Dude.
stories.
That's a fan favorite.
Yeah,
Don't trade
I've
that
heard
guy.
reasons why. So there are different
Why?
reasons of why he was traded. He was traded because
Was he telling me to fuck off?
didn't get
Or
along
was-
with Yandy Diaz, and then his wife and Diaz's wife did not get along either. So they had to get rid of him. But then the funny thing is, they trade him to Seattle, and yet right before the deadline, the night of the deadline, that Tuesday, they were going to trade
Sure.
away Diaz to Seattle. I'm like, so you're going to trade him to Seattle, and you're going to have the same situation that you have now in Tampa. Then last night, he gets into it
Wow.
with Jose Caballero in the dugout. So here's the
Who's that?
equation: is
Arizarena?
Yandy Diaz.
Arizarena
Diaz.
got into it with that
No.
tablet.
Well, Yandy
I
Diaz.
love those players. Wow.
So
Oh, Diaz did?
yeah,
With
Yandy
Caballero?
Diaz is the one who got into it with Caballero.
They should
So-
have traded Yandy Diaz.
Well, Kevin Cash said after the game that he thought that it was just within the moment. I also think that, and Adam mentioned this earlier before you hopped on. Yes, they're above 500, and they've been lingering around 500 or under 500 for most of the season. But when you lose games and you know you can win those games, it starts to frustrate you as a player.
Shit
And-
gets heated.
It really does take a toll.
Frustration comes out, and sometimes frustration comes out at the wrong times. Sometimes it comes out on the air or it comes out on the field instead of happening in private. And I'm not saying it has to happen that way, because sometimes if you get in somebody's face, a player or players, it can motivate them to do better, and then everything
Of
turns
course.
around. Or it can go the
Coaching
opposite.
101.
It can go the opposite way, and you piss them off, and they go, you know what? I'm a free agent at the end of the year. I'm out of here. I want out.
Brad,
Screw you guys. I'm going.
let me say one thing. Adam, I love you. Let me say one thing for like 10 seconds. Now it makes sense why
Go.
they traded Arozarena. He's a fan favorite. Arozarena is the best power bat the Rays have had in 10 years. What is the haul?
That's
What did they
longer.
get back? What did they get back? Tell me the question. Tell me the answer.
What did they get back? They got
What the- He's in
there's a
Seattle
kid that's
now.
playing right now for that's an outfielder.
How do you trade that
They
guy?
got back.
They had
Yeah.
they had a left field. They had a left field dedicated to Randy Arozarena. That was the most popular Ray.
Yes.
Question answered. I rest my case.
Oh, that's great and all, but if you can't get along with the guys, then it doesn't matter whether he's popular or unpopular. Maybe the Queen of Sheba. But if he doesn't get along with the boys,
He had beef with one player. He's a fan favorite.
yes,
He was a club.
yes.
That's all it takes.
Look,
Arozarena.
if he, it's business, bro.
Adam,
It's business.
Adam,
It's business. It's business.
How are you trading?
It's
Arozarena?
business. It's business. It's
For
business.
what? Now they're
So
still
that's
one-run
business.
games. Good for them. Good
Oh,
for them.
goody. So we keep this guy around and we can score 2 runs a game? I mean,
That's a great
Man.
player, I think. Not great. But
I mean, he could be the Queen of
very good
Sheba.
player.
He could be the Queen of Sheba, but if he can't get along with the boys, if he's a locker room cancer, look at Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens
He didn't say that.
was a fan favorite and a god amongst men, but he couldn't get along with the boys. They shipped him out in San Francisco. They shipped him out of Dallas. They shipped him out of Philly. Everywhere he went, he was the problem.
That's right.
He didn't say that, Adam. He said one player. I'm not Arozarena's agent. I will literally die on the flag with you. Adam, I agree with you, but I'm just saying it was one player. Like, who do you disagree with? Arozarena was like a crowd favorite. Rays,
It doesn't matter.
Brad, tell me who pissed him off.
Yandy
Who was
Diaz.
pissed off by Arozarena? You're
Diaz.
freaking cocky and hitting home runs.
Yandy Diaz was the one that was
walking
pissed
around.
off.
Wow. So Yandy
And what if
he's fucking hitting like fucking 500 runs a year. Yandy Diaz is on borrowed time. Rosarina is a lot younger, a lot more talented. So did they win that trade by getting rid of that for Yandy? Yandy will leave tomorrow. He has no loyalty to the Rays. And he's in a walk year. I know too much. He's in a walk year too.
I was going to say, Diaz is 34 years old. So
you're gonna keep him? You're gonna keep him over Rosarina in the home run derby all-star? You're gonna keep him over? Yeah.
I think behind that too is Diaz makes less money than a Rosarina did. So there's another reason why you do that.
Of course, that's obvious.
And it's value. It's all value. It's all business. At the end of the day, it's business. And if you look at attendant, you say he's a fan favorite. Where the freak were the fans? Nobody showed up. And they traded him away, and people still don't show up. It didn't matter that he was a fan favorite. If he's toxic, if he's the problem, if he's the one that is making everyone else uncomfortable in the locker room, if he's the one that's starting the drama, he got to go.
Adam, I love your point, Adam. I always respect you. You know that. Give me 20 seconds.
Go ahead.
No, he had problem with one person. The shit ratings, the trash attendance is always going to be the same. He had his own left field box. Brad, what was it called? That was a great part of. Yeah, I don't think Randy was some psycho. That's all
you don't know that. And that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. And I'm not mad. I'm not.
No, I know.
I'm not mad.
I can see a team. I can see a team that has no money, and I can see a player that was awesome, and he had beef with one guy, and I know that's the one guy. I know Tampa very well. If you fuck with Yandy, it's like messing with the Sopranos. Now he got moved. That was the best Rays player. So yeah, I mean you can talk all you want.
And he's the one that has the value. When you talk about the kid from the Sox, the Sox that they moved, but it's the same deal, dude. It's the same deal. At the end of the day, it's business. At the end of the day, sports is a business, and you gotta make the best financial. It's all about return on investment. And if
of course
Yachty wasn't valuable, and if Rosarina was the one that was causing the problems, and as people who are on the outside looking in, we'll never know what it was like in the locker room.
No, we never will.
But if no one else in the locker, we assume because he had beef with because the one guy he had beef with, he had his. Listen. We assume that he only had business beef with one guy. But we don't know how the other 25 guys in the locker room felt about him. If he was a take it or leave it kind of guy, where, you know what, I'd rather play with it. I'd rather lose without him than win with him. You know, if he's the problem, if he's creating the situation where he's so toxic,
of course,
that the other guy's wife doesn't like his wife. If he's the problem, he got to go.
Of course. Now that guy's also younger and more talented, and I've never heard any proof that. What are you talking about? What is he like jumping a wife? Like no. If they have beef, that's cool. There's different levels of beef, right? If you're at work,
and there's irreconcilable.
If you're at work and you got beef with someone, all right. No, I didn't like how you responded to my email. But like I'm hearing this now. I didn't just want to hit him. Now he's got beef with the no. Randy was a great Ray. Yandy's a great Ray. I don't know about this whole fiction. Well, to me, it's fiction. They're trying to justify moving him. They didn't want to pay him. Believe the hype.
Fine, don't pay him. Move him. If you can't come, if there's a contract, if there's a looming contract dispute, move him. Where you don't have to worry about not getting anything for him. If you know you're not going to be able to re-sign him, move him.
Oh, I agree.
Can't value. It's value at the end of the.
I agree 100%. I don't buy into like, everyone when they leave a job, right? If you were me or Bradley or Lou or anyone left a job, people are going to talk shit. You know that. You know that, right? I've been on that block 100 times in my life. So like, people are like slandering him. Like, dude, they just wanted to move him for money. I don't buy into like his wife. I just don't see that. I don't see that.
I don't know, man.
If I have evidence, I'll believe it. If I have evidence,
It's the totality of everything. He's in a contract year. He's not going to get. The Rays don't want to pay.
They don't pay anyone. You will see the best players since Mickey Mantle and fucking Aaron Judge leave the Rays. It's every year. Evan Longoria, Carl Crawford, they will leave. And, it mystifies me. It makes me wild. I'm at risk of losing my job. This week, they said, we're all on the chop block. I said, okay, let's go. On a camera. They're like, no, you're fine. Everyone's on the edge. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I don't know like how Randy Rosarino was considered like a bad guy. He walked out. Did you see anyone see the highlights when he knew he was getting traded? He sat in his stands in left field and hung out for like 2 hours watching Rays game. Brad, you saw that.
There.
Yeah.
I was there.
He was traded. Lou, he sat out in a t-shirt he obviously looks better than me. Shoot me. I'm Irish.
Right.
But he was sitting out there hanging out with everyone. And his wife was like, oh, we got to go. His kids were like, oh, let's walk. He was taking 3,000 photos. Brad, I mean, that team is so close to always winning it. How many legends have you seen?
What it is unfortunately, when you have a leadership who makes a lot of money from the luxury tax that the big teams like the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Phillies, the Dodgers,
Orioles.
teams like that pay a lot. Orioles that pay a lot of luxury tax because they have high payrolls, and the TV money he's getting from Bowie's, which was bought out by Amazon. So at the end of the day, he isn't going to put his own money forward. What all he cares about, that's the thing, is there's two ways to look at it. Either one, you continue to have the team that you have and you don't fall in love with the players, because at the end of the day, in your heart, they're going to be gone. Period. If you're good, you're gone. And the only one that was coming up that was going to be good was Wander Franco until he screwed it up by doing what he did in the Dominican Republic.
Biggest contract ever in Tampa history.
Correct. And now and
Lou, you've heard me talk about that.
Stu Sternberg, at the end of the day, Adam's right. It's a business. It comes down to Stu knows one thing. He's not going to put his money into something he knows he's not going to get a return at. And he knows, right? See, here's my opinion on it. He got the stadium he wanted. They got the new stadium. It's been approved. They're going to break ground in November, or they're going to do the shovels.
The ceremony.
Yeah.
Come January of 2025, so roughly about 6 months from now, they're going to start tearing the parking lot apart to get ready to put the new stadium together so that come 2028, when the lease on Tropicana Field goes out, they can move to the new stadium.
We've heard that for decades.
Well, it's been approved. So it's done.
It's a done deal. It is a done deal.
Yeah, it's a done deal.
So who's
my
there?
Point is, this is my point. If Stu wants to sell the team, right now is the chance to do it, because you've got the stadium approved. And if you don't want to put your money into that stadium, which I think he agreed to pay, the stadium's going to cost about $1.7 billion to build.
Oh yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
It ain't a diner. It ain't a diner.
He agreed to put in like $700 or $800 million to the stadium. not half,
Mhm.
not quite half. I think it was 700 or 600 million that he was going to put. But if he knows he's not going to get his money back, and that's the thing, he knows they have what they have. I think they have the highest payroll they've ever had this season.
Yeah.
That's why I think they made the trades that they did, because he got upset with the money he was paying out and they weren't getting any return. There is no, I mean, the attendance is low. It has always been that way. That's nothing
Of
new.
course. Yeah.
Number two, if you think about it, they have never developed an everyday player outside of Longoria, outside of Ron Franco, which he messed it up by what he did. But other than that, name me a player that they've developed from their farm. Other than those two. Nobody.
And
Everybody else
if
has been
you're-
a
I know them.
pitching.
I know them like the back of their hand. I also know now they've and Lou, you know that too, being the Yankees fan. No, now they have the best ranked. God forbid me if I'm wrong, Brad. Top 3 the last 10 or 12 or 15 years. The Rays, since they came in, always the best farm system. Now they are number 1 by far. Caminero, Xavier Isaac, 6'4", 250, like a Mo Vaughn. Nasty first baseman lefty. Carson Williams. No, they have the best prospects. I'm waiting on them to win a World Series. That's what I'm saying.
But here's my question on those prospects. That's fine and
You're going to go somewhere else?
They brought those kids up, and they can't hit Major League pitching. I mean, they brought up guys this year that I've seen, starting with the Boston series back in May.
Curtis Mead.
Curtis Mead's one of them.
Australian
They brought
hitter.
those kids up. They brought those kids up, and they can't hit Major League pitching. Now, I know too the gap between AAA and Major League is huge. The pitching is on another level in majors. So we all know that. And again, it's great to have the number 1, and they've had the number 1 farm system for a long time. They have the second prospect. They have the second biggest prospect in junior. I think number 1, is the Orioles.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, they haven't been able to translate those everyday guys to the majors. It's been a while. I mean, it's been a while. And I listen to the Rays post-game show. I get in my car after every game that I go to.
You're part of the show. You're part of the Rays.
Well, I don't call the show.
Yeah,
I know the guy that hosts the show.
No, you're part of the Rays now.
You
go to the game.
What it is all the fans that are the diehards, like you are, Alex, all the ones that are diehards, they all say the same thing. Why is attendance so low? Why is it that we can't develop everyday players, not pitchers? Why isn't spending money on the team? Why is it that we're holding on to a batting coach when our lineup can't hit above 200? Those are questions that get asked every damn post game, because I try to listen to the radio on my way home. So that, until those questions get answered, that's what it's going to be.
Well, I think I have an answer.
Adam, before
for 5
seconds, let me talk. Adam, before you go, let me
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Say something.
Think about Carl Crawford, Evan Longoria, Kevin Kiermaier, James Shields. Dude, that team.
David Price.
David Price.
Yeah. No. Yeah. There you go. If everything was normal in a flat field, would I ever say they're better than the Yankees or Red Sox? Obviously AL. No, but they should already have 1 ring. That's all I was going to say.
No, that's fine, but I want to take you back a couple of years. When did they go to the series? 2021?
They went in 2008 they lost to the Phillies, and they lost
playoffs
to
last 5 years.
The Dodgers and
playoffs. They're always in the
one at a time. 2020?
Sorry, Brad.
Yes.
I think. Well, that's okay.
Okay.
I think it was 20.
I just can't hear when you guys are talking over each other. That's all.
Yeah, I know.
So what I want to say, and I think so in 2020 they spent $3. And just I'm using really small numbers just for the ease of the numbers, right? So you spend $3, you make $5. Hey, we're going to invest more because we see this return on investment. So we're going to spend $5 this year. And we make $6 in return. So this year we're going to spend $8, but in return we're only getting $5. And it's like, any good businessman realizes that you can't spend $8 to make $5. That's negative $3. You're losing money. And if a franchise is losing money, they're going to fold. And and I think the answer is the question is, where are the fans? That's the question that only fans can answer. And where you can't say that they don't show up for a bad. Well, the team's bad, so we're not going to show up. Y'all didn't show up when the team was good. So you can't say that we don't show up for a bad team, make the team better, and we'll come back. You guys don't show up when the team is good, so that's on you. That's on you. And
also, perfect timing. You were sipping a beer, or hopefully you were, if not a soda. But yeah, God bless you either way.
I'm drinking Squirt.
Brock can attest more than me. Oh yeah, I ain't sipping on lemonade over here. Shoot me. No, but Brock can attest. No, the commute is terrible. Fans can't get into the stadium, and then when they do, it's like walk in the park. It's all Red Sox fans and Yankees fans. God bless.
Yeah,
I love the Yankees, but no, they don't have a home base. But Brad, I mean, how have they addressed that? It took me 2 hours to drive from my mom's place to get into the stadium to find you, and then I was like, "Wow, found your sexy ass."
Well, all right then.
Well, no.
Okay. It's tough to find there, Adam. The stadium's awful.
Well, it is. It's one of the worst stadiums in all of baseball. It is. It is.
Yeah.
To the Oakland Coliseum, which they're going to be leaving that one anyway after the season. So.
Well, I've only ever been to 2 major parks. I went to Comerica. I've been to Comerica like a half a dozen times. And getting to Comerica, it's right downtown. It's super simple. You get off at 50 and you just go straight. And it's super right there. You park. You find a parking garage. You park and you walk up to the ballpark. And so you come out on street level and turn around and you're like, there it is. It's right there. And then in Atlanta, which is the only other ballpark, the pro ballpark that I've been at. When I say the Toledo's game, the Mud Hens ballpark, they're the AAA affiliate of the Tigers. Super easy stadium to get into. Go downtown Toledo, and it was right there. The minor league ballpark that we had back in my hometown was right there. And so you just drove into town, and it was like a straight shot. Like you literally didn't even, once you got on the main drag down to Traverse City, it was right there in town. And it was like one turn, you made one left, and then you made a right, and you went back up in there in this little park, in this little industrial park. Yeah. And it was beautiful. And the ballpark was right there. And then if you come down out of the ball, it's like a 5-minute drive, and you're right in the heart of downtown Traverse City. And the casino is like 10 minutes that way, and there's food and shopping.
Boom.
In Atlanta, we went to last year. Me and a friend of mine, we went down to Atlanta, and I made her get here super early because I'm not getting stuck in Atlanta traffic. I don't give a damn. Get your ass here at 9:00. It's a 105 game where I want to be on my way to Atlanta no later than 9:00. And it was super simple. We took 75 all the way down Onion. We got off at exit like 303 or whatever it was. And you make one right and you make one left, and then you drive around to find a parking spot, and it's a 1/4-mile walk up to the ballpark, and you're in downtown Atlanta. So if you want to eat, and then the amenities in the facility in and around the ballpark were outstanding. They had drinks and food outside, so you didn't have to stand up. So you get a little buzz on before you went into the ballpark.
Yeah, there's the issue right there. See, there's the issue, brother, that you just brought up.
I'll throw it in for like 10 seconds. literally the drive, the traffic is so much crazier in Tampa. Go for it, Brad.
Sure.
Well, no, I'm gonna jump on top of that. That's the thing. Florida is known as a tourist state, right?
That kills the
known
attendance.
Our biggest, state economy comes from the tourists, from people that come from different states, different countries, whatever you want to call it. But we have the worst transportation system in all the states I've ever been to. New York, New Jersey, you could take the subway and you're there.
Yes.
In Tennessee, I went to Nashville. I took the subway in Nashville or the train or the bus or whatever. In Vegas, took the monorail. You can go around those cities, no problemo. Here, if you don't have a car and you take a bus, it could take you 2 or 3 hours to get
5 hours.
4 or 5 city blocks.
Yeah.
That's just how bad the transportation system is in my state. Plain and simple. The other thing that the Rays have an issue with, and I brought it up in articles, and I'm sorry, but Rays fans need to wake up. Another reason why you don't have a good ballpark, and Adam just mentioned this, you have one bar near that ballpark, and that's Ferg's. That's it. All the other bars are in
we went there.
St. Pete. Right, we did.
Yeah.
Downtown St.
And what I'll
Pete,
say,
travel to get there.
Yeah.
and what I'll say is like the bars.
Or Chicago. Adam, go for it. Sorry.
No, you're okay. It's just the thing is with two people trying to talk at the same time, it's really hard to hear each other. But what I was gonna say is Detroit was, downtown Detroit. So like the ballpark wasn't like there wasn't a lot to do right around the ballpark, but you're downtown Detroit, and the casinos are right over there. You got Greektown, and you got Motor City, and you got all this stuff to do. You got the Henry Ford; it's just up the road. And so if you're a museum guy, you got the Henry Ford, which is the industrial museum. You got the River Rouge plant. They do tourism, which is really cool. If you're ever in Detroit and you've got a 2 hours to kill, go to the River Rouge. Cool. And then Atlanta, the thing about Atlanta is that everything around the ballpark was something to do. There were restaurants, there were bars, there were vendors out there selling souvenirs and hot dogs and beer. And so even if we got there stupid early because I didn't know. I've always heard that Atlanta traffic was a nightmare. Atlanta, getting in and out of Atlanta is a nightmare. If you're going to try to get in and out of Atlanta, give yourself an extra hour because you're going to need it. Well, we got down to Atlanta, and I just made one lane change and got off. And it was like, bam, wham, bam, thank you, man, we're here. And so,
Wham, bam.
and when you and I were in Charlotte was fun to drive around. I had a great time driving in Charlotte.
Great city.
Charlotte. I won't drive in Nashville. Nashville is scary. But we Ubered all around. Oh, Nashville's terrifying. And I'm a driver. I love to drive. But I won't drive in Nashville if I don't have to. That was scary as shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to drive.
It's like the one form of power I've ever had in my life. I love driving.
Oh, I totally that freedom to go where you want, when you want. Oh, it's intoxicating.
Sure.
And I've never been to New York, and I hear, but
yeah, you gotta be careful that we can get there.
But New York City is so big that like anything you want to go to is like a 5-minute walk. Like you walk from here to there to there to there, and it's like wham bam, thank you, man. You've seen all the city, and then like in Nashville, we just Ubered everywhere. We just called it. We need an Uber. We're gonna go there, and then when we were in Nashville, we had gone to a barbecue joint, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the bathroom." I was like, "Okay, I'll watch your stuff." And then they went and they were like, "We ordered an Uber." I was like, "Really?" So I need to go to the bathroom. And they're like, "Oh, we're sorry. The Uber's gonna be here in like 3 minutes." And I was like, "Okay, fine, whatever." And then I assumed we were in line for the concert. It's like, well, and I found out I was like, I've got to have a bathroom. And it was like a mile away. I walked down to the bathroom with the bathroom, bought some waters, and came back. Like,
cool.
Yeah, and it's like from what I understand about Tampa, or from Tropicana Field, because I don't know what's it like. Let me ask you a question. Let ask you guys a question.
I just visited there last year to see Bradley. Maybe ask me. Thank you.
Well, I just want to say you guys. That's what you were the guys in that you guys.
Yeah.
What's it like trying to get down to Amalie Arena, or Raymond James? You know where what's it like? Not just getting down there, but actually, what's the scenery? What's there to do? Like if you have a 1 o'clock kickoff at Raymond James, and game's gonna be over by 4:30. What's there to do? Where can we go eat? Can we drink?
You threw a curveball. Like, is that the Tampa Stadium? Because I went down there. There were Brad. Hopefully, like, I'm forever indebted and grateful to you guys. Let me talk about that. Like, I visited down there with my mom.
Go ahead.
I'm in love with that place. Oh, palm trees. There, Brad. I met up with Brad. I'm like, holy shit! I was blown away. He's like, right away. He's like, pulled over. He's like, all right, let's walk in. I'm like, where are we going? He goes, let's go to the bar restaurant. People are jamming. Like, you don't have to drink. Brad doesn't drink. I shouldn't drink. I haven't drank in different parts of my life. I was rocking that day. But there were like 1,000 fans, like Warren Sapp jerseys, like, you know, Shaq jerseys. It was Florida love. It was so cool. And then we walked back into the stadium. And Tampa, like AC. I don't know how that negative review goes. People are like, "Oh, it's a great stadium, great stadium, AC controlled, like everyone's chill, and like hardcore fans like blasting like cowbells." I'm like, sign me up. That was my experience.
So you said how is the commute to Raymond James Stadium and to Amway Arena?
Mm-hmm.
It depends, but on what time of the day you're going over there. If it's say the drop of the puck in Amalie, which is in Tampa, is at
7:30 on a Friday night. Yeah, on a Friday night. I'm gonna rephrase the question. So I'm gonna ask you. So the difference between a 7 o'clock drop on a Friday night versus a 5 o'clock drop on a Sunday night, and you can start either wherever you want.
The 7 o'clock drop on Saturday night. What I would do, me personally, is I would leave my house at 5. The reason why is I always want to get there for warm-ups. I like to go watch the teams warm up.
Nice.
Traffic can be a absolute nightmare at 5 o'clock going across the bridge. Now, there's more than one way to get to Amway Arena. We have 3 bridges that cross Tampa Bay. You have the Gandy that comes out of St. Pete. You have the Howard Franklin, which they are rebuilding, that also comes out of St. Pete. And you have the Courtney Campbell, which is where I take now, coming out of Clearwater. So you can take all of those bridges to get across to Tampa. And it depends on which way you want to go. But I would leave if you're asking me, I leave 2 hours for a 7 o'clock. And a 5 o'clock drop on a Sunday, you're not probably going to have a lot of traffic because it's a Sunday. Now, for a 1 o'clock kickoff for the Bucks at Raymond James, you want to get there by 10. And I know that sounds early, 3 hours. But one of the, as you guys all know, and I haven't done this a lot in my life, one of the funnest things about going to football games or any sporting event, could be baseball as well, tailgating, because you can meet up with your friends, you can get plastered off your ass, you can eat as much as you want because you're bringing everything with you. And that's what I love about USF is walking through the parking lot to get up to the gate to where I go to go in for my credentials. Yeah. But it's so cool to see food and the fans and all that stuff. So me personally, and then for the Rays, like me, first pitch is at 6:40 in the afternoon. If I leave the bank that I work at, I get off at 4. So I get there about 2 hours or so before first pitch. And that gives me the time. Now, I know not everybody gets that opportunity because some people don't get off till 5. But I get to the stadium.
Some people don't have media passes.
Correct. And that's yes. And you can't.
It's called being grateful.
I'm humbled. I'm very humbled. And
Hell yeah.
What happens too is no one can go in the building while the Rays are taking batting practice.
No one else
Unless
can.
you have a special pass. If you have a special pass
Imagine that.
that's not media, you can go in and watch them take BP. But
You're there.
very, very rarely do they give those passes out. So you get there and the gates open at 5:30. So by the time you get in there, the time that you get in there, the away team is hitting. So you don't even get to see the guys that you, as a fan, unless you're a fan of the other team, get to see because they've already taken batting practice already.
That's
So that's, I mean, it's because we don't have everyone really depends in the state of Florida by car. We don't have a train or a bus, or you could take Uber, but Uber is just as bad as you driving, and it's cheaper to just drive than taking Uber. I mean, unless you're
in New
close
York
by.
or New Jersey. In New York and New Jersey, me and Lou, I don't know about you. I've had like passes. Well, yeah, not a big deal. Not the Rays, but like I've been like able to go see the UConn Huskies. That to me, that's awesome. That's my Super Bowl. You know, there's Lou. You can apply for a pass. You can go see Rutgers football. Brad, you're on a different level. I'm not trying to. No, you're like above us, but like it's all untateable. Like no, like we're all equal. I think. No, like,
so
Brad, I mean, Adam, if you had a media outlet or if you had a blog, you can go see a Michigan game. Believe it or not, that's how Brad did what he did.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just not a writer. I'm a talker. But and I will. Well, I guess so. So that the follow up is like, okay, so on a Friday or Saturday night, you ain't got to be home early to get out for work. What's there to do around Amalie Arena? What's there to do around Raymond James? What does it? Is it like a lot? There's a lot more to do and a lot more to see and a lot more entertainment going on down there.
Yeah.
Than it is over in Tropicana.
At Raymond James, you have Dale Nabry. That's the highway that Raymond James Stadium sits on. If you drive down Dale Nabry, you have a mall. You have International Mall that's not too far away off of Spruce Street. You have strip clubs down Dale Nabry.
Oh, yeah.
You have, you have a Chili's. You have different restaurants that are downtown.
Innocent.
And the same thing with Amalie Arena. You have Channelside Drive, same way. A lot of restaurants and bars after you come out of the arena. Tropicana Field, you have to drive into downtown St. Pete. It's not just within walkable distance. So that's my opinion. I mean,
yeah, that's kind of where I think.
Probably, it's Brad. You've been proven to be right. Like overall, sorry, Adam, but like that's why.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
Low attendance. People will not drive over that. I've been there. I've visited my parents. We don't want to drive 2 hours to sit in traffic. Brad met me at the stadium. I took an Uber. It was like $140. But Christ.
Good God.
What am I, Kanye West? There's like half my bank account. We got in there. It's like the place is a beautiful place. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's not commutable.
Well, like and when I went to Talladega 4 years ago, 4 years in October. I went down to Talladega for the cup race on that Sunday during COVID, and they were only supposed to have 20,000 people, but everything was closer to 40.
Yeah.
And I got there at the ass crack of dawn. I got there, I think it was 8 a.m. local time when I pulled up and parked, and I wasn't even the first one in line. So and Talladega's out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. And yeah, and I want to go back. I had a great time. It's an outstanding little venue. And little being a relative. So little being relative.
We'll go back
probably next year.
We'll cover it as a crew. We'll cover it, Brad. Rob Walker's Nerd Report. Why not?
That'd be fun.
I'm
and then-
NASCAR racist.
Yeah.
I'll go in there. I'll get kicked out within fucking 4 minutes.
I'm cursed
Okay.
when it comes to NASCAR races. So I first year I wanted to watch Monaco, it rained. First year I wanted to go to Charlotte, it rained. First year I want to go to Indianapolis, it'll rain. First year I want to go to Daytona,
Yeah.
it'll rain.
Yeah.
It's just that way. That's my luck when it comes to NASCAR.
Blues Traveler feels
So-
like rain.
Yeah. Even though there's no rain in the forecast, somehow, some way, that day
It'll rain.
it'll rain.
That's
Here comes the rain
It'll
again.
That's what they tell me all the time in
Yep.
sales.
Good song, Luke.
It feels like rain. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, like
You were
you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Can't say the wrong thing.
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
I'm gonna do a whole monologue of this. And here comes that rainy day feeling again. Oh no. Oh,
Oh, Louis.
Have you ever seen the rain
oh boy.
coming down on a
What's that, man?
That's how it's
Sunday?
been on my show.
Do you
I
guys
think
want to
that's
go ahead
music.
and go through the
Yeah, let's get into college football.
football?
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
We can see all
Hell yeah, I love college football. It's back next
I'm glad.
Saturday, baby.
God's back on my Facebook. Give me a break. Give me some college football.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, college football.
I'm awake.
Starting in 2 days, you have a game in Dublin, Ireland. Number 10, Florida State is playing Georgia Tech. The line is 10.5. The line is 10.5. FSU's the favorite. The over/under is 55.5. So 55 and a hook. Which way are you guys leaning towards that? Do you think they're going to score
Wow.
56 points is total
Interesting.
between the two of them?
I do.
I like FSU the points in the over.
FSU
Now,
the points in the
you
over.
said
Okay,
it was
good.
Lou, what's up?
You said it was 10.5, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, I
likes
think that they're
that
going
hook.
to cover. I don't see a blowout in this game at all. Because remember, Georgia Tech is awfully tough at home.
Yeah.
So I gotta give
They're not at home.
I don't think it's going to blow at all.
They're not at home, Lou. They're playing in Ireland. They're playing in a neutral site.
Okay, but still, well,
Close
Georgia
still.
Tech is.
So
Georgia Tech. I still think Georgia Tech is going to make a game of it. So I'm going to say that that Georgia Tech is going to cover.
I
Okay, so
agree
he's
with Lou.
picking Georgia Tech.
Hear me out.
Florida
No,
wins.
I agree with Lou. I don't care. They don't have to be in the backyard. They don't have to be in my bedroom. It's not a home field advantage. As long as it's neutral, that 10.5 is huge. They can go and lose by 7 or 10 in the last second. We win. I'm taking the team. I'm taking 10.5 points. That's a lot of points.
So he's taking
It's-
So-
I never laid 10.5 points in my life.
So over,
Okay.
I'll take that
under,
10.5.
under 55.5. Who do you think that it's going to be over 56 points combined or under 56
Lou, go.
points?
Lou, go first.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be just under.
So you like Tech in the under? Okay. Alex?
You like Tech to cover at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I would say personally, first week, get the wrinkles at new quarterbacks, new people showing up. First week, always take the unders. I'm going on unders.
Well, I was on a podcast earlier on a college football podcast with a buddy I met on
I'm a betting
StreamYard.
man.
I'm
Man.
going
Like
to I'm going to take
And I'm an Eagles fan.
I'm going to take
I'm trying to think.
Georgia Tech in the under. I'm going to take Tech to win. I think it's going to be enough.
You're gonna take Tech to win outright?
I am.
All right.
That'd be
It'll
fun.
be an upset.
Let's
I'm
go.
going to throw that
Let's
out
go.
there. Okay.
That's an early odds. I don't hate it. I don't hate it because you know, we don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback for FSU.
No,
And
DJ.
and if he has, oh yeah, that's right. It's that Tua Tagovailoa kid or whatever his name is.
that bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's not shit.
I just like
Sorry.
I don't know. I can't go against my gut. I got FSU 52-10.
Wow.
The next.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
The next.
Adam,
the next
I told
game,
you.
guys.
We're gonna start
I
betting.
don't have a line or I don't have an over under.
No.
Western Carolina's on the road to play NC State. That's the Wolfpack in Raleigh.
What's the matchup in NC State? Who's the opposing team?
Western Carolina, WCU.
Oh, they're gonna light them up. I would think NC State's gonna score 48 points.
Oh,
I don't know what the spread is. I want them like Donald Trump goes like this. No.
Yeah, I get it.
If I get 20 points, I'm taking NC State.
Yeah,
no contest.
they didn't give him a line, so
That's a blowout. I would think maybe like 51-10, 52-3.
I got it I got 76-10.
I was never a math guy. Shoot me. Oh yeah, I like 76-10.
So I just
That's gonna be
NC State.
I feel
NC
math.
State should run away with it. It should.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even be a game.
Yeah, and Adam, like you said, like week 1, they're gonna fucking just put the throttle. They'll put the throttle.
Yeah, I think because I don't know anything about Western Carolina,
Nor should you.
but I don't think that they're a at state level reach up and knock you off kind of team. I just don't see it. I see NC State big.
No, we both love
It may-
underdog. They're gonna get fucking smashed.
Smashed.
I love a good underdog. This is not a good underdog. That's a
No.
sucker's bet, is what that is.
That's a great.
Hang on,
bet.
guys. I'm gonna see if I can find this on the Hard Rock app. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I
It probably. They probably don't. They probably won't even put out a line for a game like this. It'll probably be. You probably can only pick winner and loser of that one if it's even available.
Yeah, I don't.
Adam, I'm
Let me
curious.
see.
In Tennessee, do you have Bodog or? I have
DraftKings.
in New York. They want me to
DraftKings.
get killed. In
DraftKings.
Florida, as Brad knows, yeah, it's only like hard rocks. I'm like, what? It's like the worst lines.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't have a line for that one. The next one, guys, that doesn't have a line either or an over under. It's Murray State versus Missouri, and the Tigers are at home. Missouri's at home.
Missouri
Tough call.
easily.
Mizzou.
Yeah, it's
Misery.
my dad's
Misery.
alma mater.
Misery.
I'm going Mizzou.
Yeah.
Back when I
Mizzou
was cool,
52-14.
I'm going Mizzou.
Okay. The next one, guys, I've never even heard of this school. It's Lindenwood versus Kansas, the Jayhawks. I've never even heard of Lindenwood. I'm not sure.
What's the spread? 38.
There's no
45.
spread. They don't have a line for that one either.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
don't
sure
forget, this
Kansas
is supposed to
is
be-
paying them to come play them.
Well, don't forget, this is supposed to be considered the cream puff schedule. So you're gonna get like say a Division 1A team against say like a Division 2 or even like a Division 3 school, which I think what Lindenwood is. So it's almost like a no contest, really. I mean, I got to feel sorry for Lindenwood because Kansas, I think, is gonna run away this early, and it'll be like about 38-0 by the half comes.
Or of a punt return. We've seen these Appalachian
Be like
States. You can see
56-0.
you can wake up at halftime going, oh, you could be hungover, walking out with some girl, like going to a bar, going, holy shit, checking your bets, and going, wow, it's kind of anything's possible.
Yeah, but
These guys,
I understand that.
They're all athletes. I'm saying they're not fucking chopped liver.
I am saying that Lindenwood is pretty much chopped liver.
I am too, but
no offense to the kids from Lindenwood, but Lindenwood's school for the deaf and the blind.
That's a done deal.
But they got their work. It's very much you got your work cut out for you, kind of football, man.
It's gonna be
it's one thing. It's one thing to have an FSU or a UCF, some of these smaller major schools.
Yeah.
But when you're a minor school,
yeah,
everything is working against you. And you really have to have one tied on to be able to play, to hang with a Kansas City. You're going there to get your ass beat and make some money for your school.
Mm-hmm.
It was so I can throw in like it was so like when I played lacrosse, I was no one, but like I got recruited. Ohio wasn't. We beat Ohio State. We beat Notre Dame. It's so crazy. Like
Wesleyan hasn't.
Now
they play good.
No, and I was no one. I went in there, dude. They were gonna cut me 100 times. I was fucking trying so hard, weightlifting. They didn't even activate me. I didn't suit up till I was a junior, and I finally played Ohio State, and I beat them. That's why I always root for the underdogs.
Sure,
it's different. Different. It's so different. There was 100 people watching. Lacrosse is different. I know that. But I always said that as part of my pride. Like, I hate the giant. I hate the giant in the net.
Sure. Of course. And the thing that and I pound Leonard with a little bit, but pun intended. But any given Saturday, if Kansas comes out not ready to work. Kansas comes out expecting Leonard Wood to lay down and just give him a win. Obviously, assumptions make an ass out of both me and you. But assuming that everything is equal, I assume that Kansas is going to smash Leonard Wood or Lindenwood or whoever.
Yeah. But for the record, they play the Big South.
Fair enough.
That conference.
But and and I love an underdog story, and I'd love to never have to see the App State game ever, never again. So if Leonard Wood could do me a solid this weekend and go out there and crush Kansas at home, I would be. And I will donate. I will donate to their scholarship fund.
My left leg.
I need that. You have my left nut.
It's gonna be tough to overcome. I'm gonna overcome some.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I will move on like Titanic. I will go on.
Go ahead. What's the next one?
Go, Brad.
Hang on, guys. I'm looking up their record from last year. Hang on just a second. Linwood, Linwood is known as the Lions. They're the Linwood White Lions. Let me see what they were a year ago. They're in Double A. They're in the FCS. So they're not even one team. They're Division 2. Or Division 1 AA, excuse me. Is how it's
yeah, they're an FCS school.
So Lindenwood was 1-5 last year. 1-5. They were. I'm sorry. My apologies. That was in the conference. They were 3-7 overall. 1-5 in the conference. They were in the conference. Well, they were negative. They were in the negative category in points, both in the conference and overall. So They won one game in the conference last year. So they are in the Big
Tottenham.
South. He is correct. They are in the
Wow.
Big South.
Okay, that's
And
cool.
the teams that are in the conference,
Good luck to him.
Gardner-Webb, UT Martin,
Okay.
Eastern Illinois,
Okay.
Bryant, Southeast Missouri State, Tennessee Tech, Robert Morris, Charleston Southern, Tennessee State. Those are the teams against in the Big South. So
In Tennessee
go
State,
guys.
UT Martin, and then the other one. They're all like right around me.
Right. I've heard of UC Martin.
I know UT Martin's like right up the road. They're like an hour west of me.
And Gardner-Webb. I've heard of them. So
Yeah, I've heard of Gardner-Webb too.
Yeah.
They're like that way. And then in UT Martin, I think they might actually be Middle Tennessee.
mhm.
But the beauty of college sports is we've seen it in March
Oh, that's
Madness.
good.
We've seen it on the gridiron. Anything can happen.
Yeah, of course. Well, and it's like, of course, and that's what I was saying. Like I have no expectations on Linwood to even show up. I mean, that'll be a statement in and of itself if they even bother showing up for the game. But,
That's the Super Bowl. They're showing up.
yeah, but if Kansas doesn't come out and Kansas doesn't come out with their pads on ready to hit somebody in the mouth. Oh, what should be a cakewalk could turn into a long afternoon there in wherever the hell they are.
That's it. No, if it's like 10-7 or 14-7 at halftime, they'll fucking run their. Sorry, they'll run their ass. They'll win. That's the beauty of college sports.
I mean, if you're Kansas, you want to get out ahead early. 21-24, kill the first quarter and get your back. Start getting into your depth chart.
Kill the.
So I just think that I love a week 0 game. I really do, because then you get a crappy team. You get another late season, mid season bye. You get that extra mid season bye. So
Yeah.
You're true. You're right. You're right. I always say. Watch those fucking underdogs.
All these games, the 4 games we're going through now are all on Thursday, August 29th. So is that considered week 1 or is that still considered week 0?
Week 0.
that should be week 1. No, that should be week 1.
We haven't started. So I would think 0. My worth is
No, that's week 1. Week 0 is this Saturday.
Yeah. I think the only game that is the Florida State game. So if you want to hold off on, let's do one more, and then we'll go through the rest of it next week when we get back. The other game on that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's make sure we get through all the Thursday, at least the Thursday games, because those games will have already started kicking off by the time we come on.
Exactly.
Correct, because the other game, guys, is Southern Utah against Utah. And I was on a show earlier tonight, and I have Utah as a playoff team. So that's just me. But again, I could be wrong. But they should dominate Southern Utah. So that's just me.
Wake me up when you're wrong, Brad. I mean,
wake me up.
They're legit. They're in the mix. Yeah. Wake me up when
they're in the mix, but I don't know. Because the thing is that Utah is a hit or miss kind of team. And
they're in the Big 12.
They have this tendency to overlook good opponents, though. And I don't know why. I don't know. Shit.
Well, they have
But I don't think they have a favorable schedule.
Yeah, guys, here's their schedule. They start off with Southern Utah at home. They're at home against Baylor. They're in the Big 12. They're at Utah State, at Oklahoma State, home against Arizona, on the road against Arizona State, home against Houston, home against BYU, at Colorado, home against Iowa State, and then they end the season on the road at UCF in Orlando. So, I mean,
I have them 12-0.
I mean, name a team in that schedule that scares you. I don't see anybody in that schedule that scares me.
10 wins, 9 wins. Adam, go for it.
I'm at 12.
Yeah.
That's a great schedule.
I'd say either 12 or 11 or 11-1. They may have in some
Who's
game,
gonna beat them? Yeah, I know. I just don't know. I think. I think.
I was way up as usual. Wake me up when I'm not blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's always my excuse.
I think.
Shoot me on blonde.
I don't know, man, because I don't see anybody on that schedule that scares me.
Yeah,
12-0.
11-1 if they have a trip up game. They take someone lightly. But the only team that I can think of that you take lightly is Oklahoma State, because the rest of that schedule, Baylor, UCF,
maybe Houston.
No.
Houston,
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
Brad,
I don't see any trap. But I don't see any trap games on there. I don't see any trap games. I don't see any games where they're not playing. They don't have to play Texas or Oklahoma anymore. They don't have to play any of the they're not playing USC or Oregon. But maybe TCU can reach up there and bite them if they don't have their head on screwed on straight. But
Oklahoma.
But TCU has regressed from where they were 2 years ago.
Of course. Brad,
and so I don't
schedule 12 wins. Sorry. Keep going, Adam.
No, you're fine. I just don't see anything on there.
I love what you're saying. Keep going.
I just don't see anything on there that makes me go, well, that's definitely going to be a tough game that they could lose.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I just don't see it.
If they go 12-0, do you see them in the playoff?
Yeah,
they have to be because who else? I don't see 11 other teams being. I don't see 13 other teams going 12-0 this year. Bama, Georgia. I think out of all the teams that are in the country, I only think that you got Bama, Georgia, Tennessee, maybe Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, that can all go undefeated.
I think, I have a funny feeling, but Oregon and Michigan are going to go undefeated. I could see both of those teams. And the reason I say that is Michigan's returning, a new coach, but they're not losing their swag.
Well, they have to play each other, so they can't go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know that they. Okay, so they play each other. Okay,
yeah.
Then Michigan then.
Yeah.
Because Oregon will win. Oregon will lose 1 or 2, but Oregon's going to be tough because again they're conferences and they're tough. They're a good football team. That's a tough place to go play on the road in Eugene. Tough. So,
but they have to come to Ann Arbor this year. So, in November.
Let me throw in Adam. Like Oregon's also the highest ranked they've been in 10 years. They're number 4.
Yeah.
Those guys are not fucking around. They've always had great recruits. Bo Nix, sorry, not a fan.
No.
He's going to start for Denver. Cool. But no, Oregon has 5 or 6 of the best recruits from D-line, O-line. That's where you win games. O-line, D-line.
Yeah. I'll take my D-line against their own D-line.
Andy Reid told me that 20 years ago. You win in the trenches. O-line, D-line. You could have Godwin, Mike Evans. You could have A.J. Brown, anyone. But, dude, the best teams in the league.
Give me time to protect them.
D-line.
You got to give me.
D-line's more important than O-line, I think.
Uh-huh.
Oregon's got a tough schedule. I mean, it's not
Oh,
like
yeah, of
they
course.
have.
Four.
They've got Idaho, Boise State to start the season. They'll win both of those
Oh, it's
games.
terrible.
Then they go on the road to play in the no, that's Washington. Okay, to play Oregon State, which is always
Wow.
a rival game. However you throw it
It's a
out
great
there.
program. That's
Then
a
they're
tough stadium.
they're
to
on
play
the
in.
road. They're on the road against UCLA. That's not going to be easy either.
No,
Home against Michigan State. Home against Ohio State. Back-to-back weeks.
wow, that's Hammerville.
That'll tell us everything we need to know about both those teams.
Then they're on the road against Purdue, home against Illinois, on the road against Michigan, home against Maryland, on the road against Wisconsin, and they end the season at home against Washington. That's not an
I have
easy
2
schedule at all.
losses. Three losses.
I have them at 11.
Looking at the schedule, I have 2 losses at least. Those are on the road, much tougher. Kenny will tell you, on the road again, much tougher than I had them.
Yes.
They could drop one of those.
But
No, they have some. I see 2 losses.
I see that the one game that I think they'll lose is the Michigan game. I think that it's in Ann Arbor, and Michigan will be able to run the ball, control clock. It'll be windy. It'll be cold, especially if it's a night game. If it's a 7:00 kick, and Ann Arbor plays slow in winter. You can't get up and you can't play. Sam Webb likes to say basketball on grass. I mean, these West Coast teams, they want to play basketball on grass, and they want to throw the ball all around the yard. Well, you can't throw the ball all around the yard in Ann Arbor in November. And I'm not sold on Oregon. They're one of those teams. They're like Notre Dame. Every year they're up in the top 5 or top 10, and then they're 9-3. It's like
they're faster than anyone. No, Adam, I agree with you. I mean, I would almost compare to Miami. Look at the Dolphins in NFL. They run like they score like 88 points, and then wake me up when it's cold and slow and like a Midwestern grind. That team wilts like a rose. They're not built for college football or pro football. After that for years.
In the cold.
The Dolphins. Tua, wake me up when he wins a playoff game. His coach is vaping more than me. I'm vaping like, Keith Richards. No, they didn't know what to do. They get smoked in the playoffs. Miami's not built for playoff football. They're not. They can go anywhere in the world. I kind of think of it like that way. There are certain teams that they're built to like play in warm air. God bless them. Come to the north, like when it's dark and snowing.
Yes.
Done. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Come hang out here when it's when the daytime high is 14. You want to play football?
No shirt. I'll be with you in no shirt. I'm just saying, some of these guys cannot compete when you go cold east or cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
When these West Coast kids come hang out in the Midwest, and it's cold and it's blowing, they lock up. I mean,
yeah.
And everybody's on the Oregon bandwagon. Oh, it's Oregon's year. And I'm like, man, they got to play in Ann Arbor. They got to come to Ann Arbor. It's not going to be a nice weather game.
They'll get fucking
a nice weather game in Ann Arbor on November 2nd. It's 34 degrees for daytime high. That's a good day. That's a good day.
You're right. They will get hammered it in Michigan. Michigan will run and play defense, but they'll also pass. Michigan 38, Oregon 14.
I like 34. I like 34-21 Michigan.
There you go.
I think
can't do that.
Well,
They're not used to the snow.
The thing is that if Michigan can get out to a quick start and make it 14-0, or make it 10-0 or 14-0 early,
lights out,
and force Oregon to have to play from behind and play ball control and grind it 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 like they've done for the last 3 years, where it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's not artful. It isn't.
Who cares?
You don't have a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback who's 30 for 52 with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. No, that's Ohio State. And what they do, they lost.
Is there a prize for that?
No
one ever.
They don't hand out.
Pretty. Give me the win. Move on. No, there's no way Oregon wins in Michigan. No, I don't give a shit about beauty points. Yeah, wake me up when that matters.
Yeah,
I could win. I could win 7-6. I could win 48-39. Give me the win.
No, I could win 1-0, 2-0, whatever.
There you go.
A win is a win is a win. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
There's no way Oregon escapes Michigan with a win.
I don't see it either. And we'll see where we're. Everything is still preseason polls right now, and so everybody's healthy, everybody's feeling good, and nobody's banged up, and we just don't know what 2 teams are going to show up to Ann Arbor in early November.
Adam, tell the viewers one thing. If you lose to Oregon 28-14, are you firing the coach?
Fuck no. Why?
Yeah.
Well, it's one game.
Thank you. It's one game. I was just testing you. It's amazing.
No, of course not.
Want to fire the coach?
The
coach builds the program. Never fire.
I might say in jest I'll fire him, but I'm not being serious. I mean, like one law. If we go in and we lose to we lose to Texas in week 2, and we lose to Oregon, and we lose to Ohio State, and we go 9-3.
Keep building.
And I would say I would go from a 0 to a 3 in terms of win now versus safe. But in all honesty, I just don't see Sharon Moore. I just don't see Michigan regressing that far.
No, I don't either. I was just
and I think
I was naming possible worst scenarios because
worst case if that's the only loss, your worst case scenario, that's if that's our worst case scenario is we lose to Oregon and we go 11-1 and beat Ohio State and go to the Big Ten championship with a chance to avenge that earlier loss to Oregon, I can live with that. That's all that if we go and we beat Oregon and we're 12-1, we're a playoff team. And then we go and see what happens in the playoffs. I'm okay, I'm gonna live with that. I live with that every year, every year.
Of course,
I'd be all right with that every year.
Where's the next Ohio State, Michigan? Is it in Michigan this year? Oh, you're gonna go back into
no, it's in Columbus.
Columbus. Oh, I went there. I parked there. I went to school right down the block. We would hang out on trailers in the parking lot. Dude, 140,000 people. What? Dude.
What?
Yeah.
Lou, that'll be your
They get after it They get after it in Columbus. They love their football up there. But
hey, beat them. I would say I don't care about the ratings or the environment. The environment pumps me up. Let me go back in there and fucking beat them. I mean, Michigan will beat them. I mean,
I don't know.
That's a test.
I think there's 2 games that I need to see before to make any further predictions, and the 2 games that I have circled on my calendar going forward is week 2, Michigan, Texas. That game has everything for it's in Ann Arbor. The future trajectories for both programs hang on the balance of really, really hanging the balance on that game. Because, if Michigan wins, we quieted the doubters. We've shown that because it's early September, so it's not like we're going to be able to muddy up the works and just grind it out and just play ball control and grind it out. It's not like it's going to be cold and miserable. It's mid-September. If it's cold and rainy, it's 55, not 25.
Right.
But I imagine it'll be mid-70s. I have to take a look at the weather report. But mid-70s to low 80s, a calm day. And so you're going to have your hard hat on because Texas can do everything. They can throw, they can run, they can stop the run, they can stop the pass.
90 points.
But and then
80 points.
Oh, easy. I see that. I'll take the over on that. I think both teams. I think both teams.
Oh, it's gonna be a shootout.
I think both teams can get to 40. I think it'll be first team to 40 wins.
Wow, that's
or even first team to 50. First team to 50 wins.
Puerto Rico. I didn't know they were playing week 2. Wow, that's
oh yeah,
that's a killer.
Oh yeah,
dude, that's a killer.
It's gonna be fun.
Wow,
it's gonna be fun. And then
I don't care if it's not snowing. Texas is not ready to go in Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor's gonna smoke them.
Well, we gotta be loud. We're gonna be loud all day.
Loud and proud.
And then the next one, the other one that I'm really the other earlier season matchup that I've got circled on my calendar is that Oregon OSU game, the Oregon Ohio State game, up in Eugene, and that'll tell a lot about both of those teams, and and based on what happened in the Michigan-Texas game, we can do a lot of inferring based on that on future predicting the season.
Sure.
Because I think if OSU goes up to Eugene and wins, then I think that they'll have all the momentum going into the game.
Who's going to Oregon? Sorry, Adam.
Ohio State. No, that's okay. I don't mind clarifying. The Ohio State
game. They're going into
the game is up. Yes, that's a game in Eugene.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Oregon will score fucking 45.
Yeah, at least.
Good luck. I mean,
well, we'll see.
I see Ohio State losing that one.
I don't know because I agree. I agree, and I think Oregon wins. But if Ohio State goes up there and gets the win, they're going to have all the momentum going, especially if Michigan loses to Oregon later on by some. And, but if Oregon wins, it really depends on how that game goes. If Oregon wins convincingly, if they win by 3 or 4 scores, then I think OSU is all done for this year. I think they'll probably they run the table to the Michigan game, and then they drop another heartbreaker in Columbus.
I agree, and either way, time is ticking. It's dude, we've all been there. We've all had we've worked hard, and you feel oh my God, there's something happening here. Time is ticking. Ryan Day, Ohio State coach, out. Don't quote me now. Quote me in 8 weeks, 12 weeks. He's out. No, he's not. He has not won anything.
I can see a scenario where. What?
No, I was joking around. It's why are you holding here?
Oh, I have a headache.
He's got the shortest lead. I mean, back in the day in MLB, we'd say Girardi or Joe Torre, but dude, Ryan Day, Ohio State, he's always had the best players. He's getting close.
And he hasn't.
I'm sorry.
I just think that if they lose again, if they lose to Oregon and Michigan, I don't know if he can hang on to his job because those are the games you just can't lose.
Right.
not consistently, right? Like if he was 3-3 against Michigan, and if they had won in 21-22, and last year was the first year we had actually beaten them, I would feel a lot different about this year, where it's just another game. You know, it's like it doesn't matter. You win some, you lose some, and you move on with life. But you know, the other thing, but conversely, I think the thing that may save Ryan Day's job is that 1 or 2 losses really doesn't make or break your season anymore. That you can still get into the playoffs as an 8 seed with 2 losses. I see, and then you can catch, you know, then there's a path to the championship from there, right?
Sure.
And
if Ryan Day loses to Michigan this year, is he out? Yes or no?
I'm going to say a tentative no, because I have to see what the rest of the season looks like, and if they lose the Oregon game, and they lose the Michigan game, and they get waffle stomped in the playoff game, because I don't see a 2-loss at Ohio State being kept out of the playoffs. I think they'll still be in 9. They'll still probably be 9th, and they'll be a playoff team. They'll make the playoffs. But if they get threat, because like, and the other thing that's going to be really, really interesting going forward is like when we had the old playoff system, when we had the 14 playoff last year, right? And the rest of the bowl games really didn't matter, so kids didn't suit up for them. I'm curious to see, will a 9-seed Ohio State with 2 losses, how many of their future NFL talent are going to actually suit up and come out and play?
Well, of course. But Lou, I don't know if you feel different. Like Adam, I always love you. You have much better insight than me as far as college football. Dude, if he loses to Michigan, the Ohio State coach is out. I'll say it right now. I've never been the best better, but like I would say he's out like within a week. Adam,
depending on how bad the scoring is. I mean, it was a close one out there, so
yeah,
it's a blowout. I'll put it that way. It depends how the game goes. But of course, we have to worry about that.
I know I'm super hedging here. I know I'm hedging the hell out of this, but I don't know, because there's so many because I just don't know where, like, I would say
Ohio State
I would say yes. I would say tentatively yes.
If he doesn't,
but I also see, like, if they go and they knock off Oregon and then they drop a close one to Michigan, like Lou said, if it's not, if Michigan goes into Columbus and puts another ass whooping on them, I think Ryan Day gets executed at midfield. I don't think he walks out of. I don't think he needs to worry about walking out of the stadium, because they'll take care of that problem for him, and any of the walking he might want to do in the future. But if it's a close loss, if Ohio State was within 10 all game, and they just couldn't get on track, I think, especially if their only loss is to Michigan, and they have a chance, because we don't know we don't know who the best 2 teams in the Big Ten are going to be. If Michigan and Ohio State both knock off Oregon, and Michigan and Ohio State are the top 2 teams in the Big Ten, they get the rematch in Indy that next week. And if Ryan Day goes into Indy and he finally gets the monkey off his back and beats Michigan again for the first time in 5 tries, I don't see how you can hang 1 loss on him and say that's the death knell. But if they lose to Oregon and they're 10-2 and they're not going to Indy, if they knock off Oregon but lose to Michigan, and Michigan loses to Oregon, and SC beats Michigan, and SC beats Ohio State, and it's SC's, and if Southern Cal is going to Indy to play Oregon for the Big Ten title, I can see in that scenario, I see Day getting fired. But there's so many things. We're so early. We're not even out of August yet.
The night is young, like Yogi Berra. Like Yogi Berra said, it gets early, late. It gets late early. If
and it's like
if Ohio State gets some shit kicked in by Michigan, Ryan Day will get fired this year. That's my one statement, dude. I didn't go to Ohio State. I'm not a pony boy. I ain't wearing Ohio State shit. No, that's how big it is. That's how hot it is. That's why I said this show I love by Brad. That's why I said a month ago, his seats should be 4. If it was 1 to 4, it should be 5.
Yeah.
Trust me, they will get rid of him. They will get rid of him tomorrow if he loses.
I think it depends on. I think there are extenuating circumstances, but I think
Michigan, your team is better. They will get.
I know they're better.
I know,
but I still think that I think that if they got rid of Day, it would be throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I just can't see after the Michigan loss being the only blemish and a playoff trip in the works and an Indy trip in the works. If that game, if they're both 12-0, and that game is for home field at Indy, if they're both 11-0 going into that last game, Michigan wins convincingly, but it's not a rout. They don't blow those doors off. They win 38-24. No, it's a convincing win, but it's not a rout. And then they go, and then Day takes his Buckeyes into Indy, and then they flip the script. They pull the reverse card, and he wins. Or let's say they fire him. Let's say Monday morning we all wake up, we're all hungover, and we get in the newspaper. It's technically on our iPads now, but we open up our newspaper app and we see big bold headline: Ryan Day fired, and the interim coach takes a demoralized Ohio State team into Indy, and a Ryan Day team that was close but no cigar gets waffle stomped and gets stomped a yard up and down Indianapolis's field, and they lose 48-14 to a Michigan squad. Then everybody's going to be holding their peckers going, what the hell have we done?
Yeah, I mean, maybe because dude, I didn't go there, but I played lacrosse in a smaller school. I was in that region. They will shit and breathe in part.
Well, I grew up hating Ohio State.
If you get off the plane there, it's all scarlet and red. Everyone's talking about A. George.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Ohio State is religion. I wanted to be there. The girl was with broke up with me. I walked home with my tails between my legs. Now I'm back east. No, that place, they will thunder and shit football. They know football. But no, they are not happy with Ryan Day. If they lose to Michigan again, Ryan Day will be fired. I will go to, Adam,
I've already said everything I can say about it.
What is he? 0-5 again? How many losses can he take?
Or 1-5.
How does he survive another loss? There's no way.
Well, it's a brave new world.
They will have 14 coaches ready to
pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
You will not survive.
It is a brave new world. It's a brave new world. I can see a scenario where if their only loss is to Michigan, I don't see how you could pick a coach that is 40-0 against everyone other than Michigan and Georgia.
Good deal.
And let him go for a guy that hasn't been proven that he can do dick.
Oh,
who are they going to get? Are they going to bring? Mike Vrabel got fired from his last job. I mean, we don't know what Mike Vrabel.
We
don't know what
Patriots. Vrabel, Ohio State. Adam, come on, man.
Yeah, but we don't know if he can coach in college football. We don't even know if he wants to coach college football. And we know that we have a college coach that can that recruits super well, that always brings in reloads,
True.
And on a campus that believes that they can win on any given Saturday, and I fear for the Ohio State faithful that they're looking for that green, that the grass is always greener on the other side, and they turn out and they claim that fence because they think the grass is greener. Well, it turns out that grass was spray painted concrete, and now they have nothing to graze on.
I hear you.
And as a Michigan guy, and I believe Maize and Blue. You cut me open. I believe Maize and Blue. I'm no Ohio State lover. I'm not here sucking off Ryan Day or anything. So don't. But I just don't. I just think that
I love your
one more loss is just another loss. Now there is a scenario where Ryan Day does get fired with another loss to Michigan, and it's this scenario. It's he loses to Michigan in November, he loses to Michigan in December, and he loses to Michigan in January. And that January loss, if it's a playoff loss, he's done.
Oh, that'll kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll kill him.
I love what you said. I mean, I'm just thinking like, wow, like look at Ohio State's like draft picks. Every year, the last 5 years, 8 years, 9 years, this year alone, they're going to have like 5, 6, 7 players in the first round of the NFL draft. Imagine that talent.
I know.
I'm not married to Ryan Day. I ain't dating him. Trust me.
I'm not married.
He should be out. That's my philosophy.
I'm just a practicalist. I'm like you have the optimist, the pessimist, and the realist. Right? The optimist says the glass is half full. The optimist says the glass is half full. The pessimist says the glass is half empty. And the realist says, well, what's in the glass? And
Sure.
At this point, thinking of where we're going to be in November, I think is like because they're one major injury away from being a 3-9 team. They're Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Michigan, Utah, Texas. Pick a school. They're one injury away from being a 3.
Buccaneers, Eagles, Jets. Everyone's an injury away from the 3-9 team. Everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
That's their football.
And so like I just wouldn't hang my hat on one more loss to Michigan. I just think it would. I think it would be asinine for them. I think it would be. I agree that I think if you're saying that you think they'll want him fired, 100% agree. 100% agree. The Ohio State faithful will want him fired. 100% agree. Should they fire him? I say 100% no, because one more loss.
What has he proven? Could he be a good coach in the NFL? Ryan Day has not proven a damn thing.
No.
Yeah, I know. I as I'm sitting here thinking about it and saying it, I'm like, even if we give him one more,
my job's got.
How many?
Why is Ryan Day making $5.8 million, coaching 5-star recruits, not beating Michigan?
How many one more chances can you? Yeah, no, I understand. I get that too. I get that too. Like, how many one more?
You wouldn't.
How many one more chances? How many one more chances are we going to give him?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very equal school. I think the proving point, the precipice for me, the turning point was Harbaugh was suspended. The coach stepped in and beat them. How much more proof do you need? He's not capable of beating Michigan. I mean, and now he loses Marvin Harrison, 18 different NFL guys. Is Ryan Day going to suddenly beat Michigan? No, he's not. Michigan's going to smoke him. I can smell it.
And with it,
Ryan Day going to – all right.
We'll go ahead and call the show. Lou, go ahead and talk about your show.
All right. This week, of course, In Hand Sports Show runs as normal, 4 to 6 p.m. Saturday, number 512-543-4662. Got a big show planned, bigger than I thought it was going to be, because we're going to cover, of course, more MLB. Little League Baseball, the championship is this weekend, so all you young at heart people might want to tune into that, of course. Also, we'll go through the rosters of the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Well, the groups that'll be like from Group A to Group B and whatnot. We'll cover all that. That was just announced actually yesterday. We'll continue with the final week of NFL preseason. We'll do the college football week 0. Week 0, whatever that means. NBA, WNBA news, NHL, UFC, and WWE. And of course, we also have your thoughts and comments this week on Sports History, the ridiculous side of the week, the sports trivia, and everything else I can think of in a 2-hour show. So 512-543-4662 is the number. By the way, next week's show is going to be on Sunday, September 1st, same time, because I'm not going to be able to do the 31st on Saturday due to a previous engagement. So if y'all can make it, it'll be Sunday, September 1st, same time, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. So make a note of that if you forget.
Cool. Well, guys, I want to thank everyone who tuned in. Everyone, thanks to all of the opinions we had tonight. I'm trying, guys, to get Dustin, our fantasy football guy, on next week, because obviously,
oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Starts a week after that, so get him on to talk about fantasy football with us next week. I want to thank our networks and our sponsors very much for what they do. Thank you to our men and women of our armed services and our first responders. Thank you so much. Gentlemen, I will see you 3 next week, 8 o'clock as normal time. Until then, I am the sports star Bradley Walker. This has been the Walker Report. Peace.
Good night.
Brent, send it.
Send it on.